Well, it's that part of the show when we give you a share of the classics. Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, say. Welcome on to Square Feet, India's only property real estate show on the radio space. We're streaming audio online all over the nation, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, 94.3 on the FM band in your radio sets right here in Mumbai City. Pleased to welcome onto my show CEO and founder Delos, Paul Scialla.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Paul, great to see you. How are you doing this morning?
Great to be here. Very well, thank you.
Excellent. I'm given to understand that you're quite the pioneer in your space, which is really wellness real estate. So talk me through Delos, the beginnings, and how far you've reached in your goal as far as wellness buildings and wellness real estate is concerned.
Great question. The beginnings here were identifying that we probably had a very large gap in thought when considering the green building movement on the focus on environmental impact, but no one seemed to be talking about all the people inside our buildings. We're spending over 90% of our lives now indoors, our homes, our offices, our hotels, our schools. So the whole premise here was to merge the health sciences with the building sciences and to deliver healthier real estate. To your question of how far, well, it's the largest asset class in the world, $180 trillion of real estate. And health and wellness is the fastest growing industry in the world. A $4 trillion a year spend. So the opportunity set is gigantic, and we're thrilled to see that our programs are now in 38 countries already.
Paul, listeners in India in particular need to understand the concept of the well building standard as opposed to the LEED building standard, because we're familiar with what LEED is.
Great. Yep.
So would you just draw that analogy, please?
Yeah, so green building and well building are complementary. They go hand in hand. In fact, most of our projects in the well building standard are both LEED and well certified, where green building and programs like LEED primarily focus on energy impacts, environmental impacts, waste management, water consumption, utilities, and begin the conversation about people with things like daylighting, what have you. Well building advances that dialogue. There is about only a 20% overlap between green building and well building, or particularly between LEED and well. And it was great because when we put this forth, we said, look, let's not reinvent the wheel. There's tremendous sustainability infrastructure out there. As for instance, the founding chairman and CEO of the U.S. Green Building Council, a gentleman named Rick Fedrizzi, started the LEED movement 15 years ago. He put LEED into 180 countries across 18 billion square feet of real estate. Mr. Fedrizzi now runs our well certification platform. So his next chapter in sustainability, if you will, is in fact the well building movement, which gives us a tremendous outlook on how far we think this can go.
Lovely. Paul Scialla will be back in a couple of minutes. This is Roy Orbison. You got it. Roy Orbison, God bless his soul. You got it. On Square Feet, our real estate show. Paul Scialla, CEO and founder, Delos, really a pioneer. He's the man. He's founder of the International Well Building Institute, IWBI, which administers the well building standard globally to improve human health and well-being through the built environment. And more conversation.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
So, Paul, this is wonderful. You're now in India. You have an alliance with Knight Frank India. Tell us about the alliance. How did it come about, and why in particular Knight Frank is your partner?
Knight Frank is very well positioned here. I think their team is quite strong. We have mentioned, as mentioned, we're in 38 countries at this point. We're just entering India, and we need strong partners here to distribute this program who've got reach into all types of real estate services. Clearly, obviously, brokerage, what have you, but facilities management, project management, and so we're thrilled with the partnership and really looking forward to seeing this thing take off in India.
I want to delve a little more into the wellness scheme of things for employees, in particular when we talk office. Are you saying that you not only look at air pollution parameters, you also look at water? What are the other factors? I believe there are about 8 or 9 of them.
Yeah, the components of the well building standard are air, light, water, nourishment, fitness, comfort, which has to do with thermal and acoustic comfort, and mind. So when you consider all those categorical elements, some of these are operational in nature. and programmatic, and others are in fact structural or architectural in nature. It's really a holistic look at how buildings are not only built or renovated or designed, but also operated.
But you already have a bit of a presence in India, I'm given to understand.
Yeah.
Would you tell us how far you've gone thus far?
Oh, just the very beginnings. A handful of projects, corporate headquarter projects just coming online. To give you a comparison, 2 years ago we had 0 projects in China. We entered mainland China and now have over 250 projects in China, and we expect the same thing, very rapid adoption in India.
How bullish are you about India? I mean, this is a country with a lot of people have not been able to understand. McDonald's had to come here and do vegetarian burgers and do home delivery, which was pretty unheard of in the rest of the world.
Yeah. I'm quite bullish on India. I mean, obviously the top line, 8% GDP growth. You look at the population growth. The intellectual capital here is what really impresses me.
Lovely. You want to see some pictures and a video of Paul Scialla? It's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at HRISHIKAY, Facebook.com/radio1.mum, our official page. Back after these messages, don't go anywhere. Australian songstress Natalie Imbruglia torn its square feet, our property real estate show. CEO founder Delos Paul Scialla is in studio.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
I find it very fascinating, Paul, that after 18 years, almost 2 decades in Wall Street, including a decade in Goldman Sachs as a partner, you've suddenly moved to sustainability and altruistic capitalism. So how did that happen?
Well, this was unintended, I think, originally when this thought of wellness real estate popped in my head. This was probably 4 years before leaving Goldman. Couldn't get the idea out of my head. Wanted to make sure that the process for this was done right, the science was right, the evidence was there. But I have to tell you, the economic and societal proposition was unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and others are seeing the same thing. When you can merge a $180 trillion asset class with a $4 trillion annual spend, clearly the economics are undeniable there, particularly with the cost to do this versus the premiums we're seeing. But on the flip side, using real estate as a healthcare intervention tool, to deliver prevention at a societal level has profound social impact outcomes to it. So this was a wonderful combination for both.
And also, you've got some luminaries on your advisory board. Deepak Chopra, who's really made us proud as Indians around the globe with all his spiritual teachings and learnings. And you have a bit of Sunset Boulevard glory there in terms of Leo DiCaprio. Both people who are deeply concerned about the environment.
Yeah, both these guys and every one of our board members, for that matter, believe in this well-building mission. You look at Leo DiCaprio, he's been a sustainability advocate for decades at this point. He got quite intrigued at the biological sustainability component of this. Our built environment is the impact we're having on people. Deepak, one of the leading wellness luminaries in the world, got heavily involved and engaged with the wellness real estate movement and the profound potential for societal impact. We're blessed. We're fortunate to have folks that are. This is not about namesake. These are folks that care and are involved and really are multifaceted contributors to this.
That's lovely. And you yourself are on Deepak's board. Is that it?
Yeah. Chopra Foundation, wonderful organization.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you have some numbers of what has happened post the well building standard coming into buildings? You obviously have a before and after graph to show. How much have you been able to impact lives in those offices and homes?
Yeah, great. There's a lot of case studies and evidence coming in, both on the economics and the qualitative kind of components of enhancing space, but also the biological kind of elements and improvements. And enter things like the Well Living Lab, which is a research collaboration we have with the world-renowned Mayo Clinic. And I'd point you to a research study that was written up in Nature Journal, which was, our ability to take office workers, for instance, and put them in a simulated office environment and start dialing up and dialing down various interventions in the well standard and getting the data, getting the real evidence of how it's driving health and behavioral outcomes. Also the economics, with over 1,000 projects now in 38 countries as of today, right? Over 1,000 projects, we're seeing the cost to do this versus the premiums people are willing to pay, whether it's hotel room rates, commercial leasing rates, home sale prices, staggering increase in economics there.
A last leg of conversation with Paul Scialla, CEO and founder Delos on Square Feet. Is Michael Bublé. Haven't met you yet. Paloma Faith and Scialla, it's Lullaby. A last leg of conversation on Square Feet with Paul Scialla, he's CEO and founder at Delos, really the International Well Building Institute, and the Well Building Standard globally has seen phenomenal results, and it's time now for India to experience it.
94.3. This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
Well, we've just talked of office spaces, but this holds equally true for residential societies, communities. I want you to talk on that.
Absolutely. Residential is a big component of this, particularly a system called Darwin, which has been launched for residential. And this goes down to homes, $150,000, $200,000 price tag, all the way up to $30, $40, $50 million price tags and everything in between. Darwin is a smart, healthy automation system for the home. It serves as a wellness brain for the house. There are hardware components, air filters, water filters, circadian light bulbs, and sensors. That's the hardware. And the software is a bunch of algorithms that control the health and wellness attributes of the house according to what the human condition needs. Darwin is starting to launch around the world, and we're super excited about it.
And it's no coincidence that it is named after the great Charles Darwin?
It is exactly no coincidence. When you consider 100,000 years of our biological evolution was spent outside, and now we're spending 92% of our time indoors, only that tiny last slice of human history, maybe 100, 200 years, we have completely lost the connectivity to the natural outdoor condition. Darwin is your home evolved. Darwin brings back the benefits of the natural outdoor condition inside. Pure air, pure water, circadian lighting that matches natural sun patterns from outside. And so, we're super excited, and there is no coincidence to the name.
No, but I'm really glad you're saying that because, a lot of Indians in particular feel that they're safer at home. And you're saying you're actually simulating a perfect outdoor condition indoors.
Yeah.
Because that is the perfect condition, isn't it?
We used to wake up with the sunrise. We were active and energized and productive during the day as that bright sun would cross the sky, hitting our circadian optic nerve, giving us the hormones we needed to be energized. We used to sleep in cooler temperatures versus warmer temperatures. We breathed pure air. We drank pristine water. Our water now runs through infrastructure and pipes. Air quality is generally 2 to 5 times worse indoors than it is outdoors. And our lighting is artificial, and it's disrupting our sleep-wake cycle. So this is a paradox. It's using high tech to bring nature and the benefits of nature indoors. That's Darwin.
Lovely. Okay, for people who've tuned in late, your local partners, if people think of using Darwin, think of using the Well Building Standard right here in India, where do they get in touch?
Our local partners are like Knight Frank here. We signed an alliance yesterday. These guys are going to have all this information for the general public to and the practitioners to look for.
I have an email ID that you can write to if you're a developer or if you're part of a building society, you want to get some Darwin into your life, get the Well Building Standard courtesy Delos into your life. It's knightfrank.india@in.knightfrank.com. Remember, Knightfrank is KNIGHTFRANK. Knightfrank.india@in.knightfrank.com. Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a wonderful rest of your stay here in India.
Thank you very much for having me.
Messages and back.